Good morning, Year 3. Mrs. Joshi here with your Monday, the 1st of February maths lesson. Pinch and a punch, first day of the month. I said it first. Okay, back to maths, today's learning point. So it's a combination of maths and art today. So hopefully you'll find this activity easy, enjoyable, and helping you to think about your learning in maths, particularly about arrays. So today's learning point on the 1st of February is, can I show arrays? You're going to need to get from your pack the little rectangles of patterned paper that you should be able to find in there, a piece of black paper which you're going to use on its side, and you can also use the two rectangles of patterned paper for this activity. Please do not use the two squares of patterned paper that are in your pack. They are for a maths lesson that is coming up after half term. So it's really important that you do not cut these ones up, please. So the squares are going to be taken away and put back in the maths pack. Okay, so you need scissors, glue of some kind. Prits will be easier. If you haven't got Prit, there's a tube of squishy glue in your pack. You need to get these rectangles of patterned paper and everything you can see on the table to do this activity. So pause the video and go and get those things. Okay, so well done if you're ready. What we're going to do, next half term, our topic is light and shadow. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a collage, which is a picture made by cutting and sticking. So we're not going to do any drawing for this art activity. We're going to be cutting lots of rectangles. This is the background, this is the sky, and it's a nighttime scene. And you do need to have your paper landscape the long way. So don't turn it round and have it the tall portrait way up, because you won't be able to fit things on so well. And what you need to do, using your scissors, is you need to cut out about 5 building shapes, using bigger pieces of paper, whatever you've got to hand. So you're going to make some skyscrapers. Now I'm not going to stick them down yet, I'm just going to cut them and arrange them on my piece of paper. So just to make it a bit more interesting, I might change the shapes of my buildings. So I'm going to make a landscape of a city. We can call that a cityscape. These big pieces of pattern paper, you can use those for your buildings as well. So I'm going to have a really tall one made out of this piece of paper. I'll just make sure it can fit. So I'm just going to cut the top off. So I've got 3 so far. Maybe I'll just make 4 buildings. That will be okay. When I've done this in the past in school, I've used bigger paper, but because we're using our packs, we're a bit limited. Don't throw away any scraps of paper, because you can use those for activities, and I've saved these bits of paper up over a long time, so it's a shame to just throw them away and not use them anymore. And you can see what we're going to be able to use those for in a moment. So once you've got 4 or 5 building shapes arranged on your piece of paper, remember to leave a gap at the bottom. So the ground level is here, and you're going to stick your building shapes down. So if you can glue your basic building shapes down on your piece of paper, and then pause the video while you're doing that, and then I can give you the next instruction. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some windows on our skyscrapers by cutting and sticking. So we've got all these other scraps of paper, and that's what the nice shiny paper is for. It's to make windows. So you've got some nice patterned paper in your packs, and what you need to do is cut out some little squares or rectangles that are the same size. So I've got 3 there, and I'm just going to keep making the same size rectangle out of the same scrap of paper. So that's 6. Any little pieces I'm just throwing to one side because I'm not going to use those. So the rectangles I want to keep are falling onto my building shape, and any little odd bits I'm just putting to one side. So I'm going to keep going. So you want quite small rectangular shapes. I haven't counted these all, but I'm going to start arranging them to make windows. And you can see why this links into maths now. So I think I'm going to make groups of 3 for my windows on this skyscraper. So I've got 1 row of 3. I hope you can see this on the screen. 2 rows of 3. So 3, 6. This is my 3 times table, year 3, which you do need to learn in year 3. The government says that in year 2, you need to know your 2s, your 5s and your 10s thoroughly. And then when you get to the end of year 3, you need to know your 2s, 5s and 10s and your 3s, 4s and your 8s. So I've got a spare rectangle here, so I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to have a little pile of bits that I'm going to throw away later. So I've got rows of 3 there, and I'm going to do some more rows of 3 underneath. It doesn't matter if I change what I'm using to show my rows of 3 slightly, as long as it's easy to see the arrays. So I'm going to use blue stars for the bottom windows. 1, 2, 3. Just happen to have some sticker stars. If you've got some stickers, you could use some of these for your windows as well. 1, 2, 3, and I think I've got, what do you think, 1 more row? I think so. 1. I'm using the same colour so that they look like groups. 2, 3. So that is one building finished with an array of windows. But the maths part is being able to describe the array in a number sentence. Now I'm lucky because I'm a teacher and I'm in school, I've got some sticky labels. What you may need to do is you might need to cut out little pieces of white paper and glue them underneath each building, and they need to be big enough to write on. So you might need to cut out some rectangles. So what you need to end up with, underneath every building that you make, you need a rectangle that is big enough to write a number sentence in. So I'm going to put 1 there. 1 there. So this is the only part of my picture I'm going to write on. I'm not going to draw windows on. Everything I make needs to be stuck down for my picture. So here is where I'm going to write a different number sentence depending on the array that I've shown with my building windows. So the building that I've done, we've got groups of 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 groups of 3. Now I know my 3 times table, and I know what 7 groups of 3 is. I don't actually need to count them. So the number underneath the multiplication sign is how many groups, and the number next to my multiplication sign is how big the group is. Altogether, I'm not going to count them, children, because I know that 7 times 3 and 3 times 7, the answer is always 21. So there's my array, my building with the windows glued down, and I'm writing what the array is underneath to show that I know what maths I need to explain it. So that's that building finished. I've got 2 buildings here and another building here to also finish. And if you wanted to, you could, just to finish it off and be a bit arty, because it's the night time, I'm just going to cut myself out a little moon shape to go in my sky, just as a finishing touch, nothing to do with the maths really. And I might use a few of my star stickers just randomly, because I'm lucky enough to have them. I wish I could have found some to put in your packs, but I didn't have any. So now it's your turn. You need to make 4 or 5 buildings. I want different arrays in each of your buildings, and I want a piece of white paper glued down with your written array underneath. So it's a mixture of art and maths. Looking forward to seeing these soon on Zoom. Well done, Year 3. Bye. And I know I've said goodbye, but here's a little afterthought. We've just found Megan's big sister's beautiful array that she made a couple of years ago when she was in Year 3. So it says Ella's Array Cityscape, and it's a really lovely finished example. And Ella's been really clever because she's shown groups of 10 as if they were a stick of Deans. So we've got 4 groups of 10 here, which I really like, making 40. She's got a whole mixture of different times tables that she's practiced, and some clouds and a moon in her sky. So you can see she got a Head Teacher's Award. Why don't you send in some photographs of yours and see if you can get a Head Teacher's Award as well? Good luck and have fun.